Okay, perfect. Well, like Megan said, my name is Kunjan Manahar, and just to tell you a little bit about Ascend, we are a nonprofit organization based in Indianapolis, and kind of our service is to help students like all of you get connected to jobs and internships within the state of Indiana. So how do we do that? How we do that is we've created something called the Ascend Network. So you guys have probably used Handshake because that's how you guys signed up for this event, or through LinkedIn. A lot of people use those job online platforms to just kind of find their job or internship. We're very similar to that. So we have created an online job platform where you can search different positions, you can search different employers, but we've created more of a personal approach. So we have a little bit more of a human aspect to it. So before you actually get to join our network, you have to go through a 30 to 45-minute little interview with one of our managers of recruitment. That's just to tell you, so we can get to know a little bit more about you, just your career interests and your goals, and just a little bit more about how we can help you on the network. And then if those opportunities align, then you can get to join our network and then have those apply to those positions. And one of the things that I loved about the network was just because I wasn't from Indiana and I was able to look at all of these positions, and my manager recruitment was my mentor throughout the whole process. So they are sending you roles every other week or every week of like 4 to 5 different roles that they think you're a good match for. And they're also advocating for you as well. And that goes a long way just because we do have over 500, I think now, employers on our network that we have that direct relationship with. So whenever you are applying to those jobs, you do have a step up because we can advocate for you. So I did tell you guys a little bit about the network, but I'm going to show you what it looks like just so you have an idea. So you guys see my screen? Awesome. So this is the first thing that you see whenever you are on the network. If you've been accepted, just welcome to the network. On the left-hand side, these are success stories of people that have gotten a job through the network. And then on the right-hand side, you can just see that just tips and tricks on how to use the network. And then right here, we have those top 8 role matches for you. So that's based on your skills match. So whenever you first complete a connection form with us, you're going to put your skills and expertise. So this is how much I match this job. Work styles, just based on your location, your different preferences, your work style preference. The network fit is kind of our secret sauce to it. It's based on if you're really a good culture fit to the job, and we do like a light character trait analysis for that. So community outreach, I would be a good match for this job. Then we also have our featured companies here at the bottom. You can explore all of our employers here and explore employers. We've put our little section into different teams of things that you can apply for. I think this is really important because even though IndyLogic is a supply chain performance company, there are other positions that you can apply for that. So you can look through that right here. They have an About Us section where you can just see what the company is about. They have different resources here as well that you can look at. That will kind of show you a little bit more about the company. And this is one of my favorite sections that's unique to our site. It's in the neighborhood section, so you can see how much rent is going to be near the area you would live in, what gas prices are, where you can live near the area, where you can eat, where you can do different activities, and then where you can engage in your community. And then building your profile. So in order to build a profile, you have to put your resume in. So all of this information here is already put in except for your personal summary. So whenever you are putting your personal summary, I do suggest to really highlight your different skills and expertise because employers can look at this and they can see if that you're a good fit for their company. On the left-hand side, just what type of employment type you want. So whether what year you're in, whether you want a full-time job, if you want a summer job, or what type of internship you want. Role type, you can look at any types of roles that we have within our network to kind of narrow down that job search. Also different industries as well. Location, so Fort Wayne, you can put that as one of your locations, but we also have all different areas within Indiana as well. And then your key factors, whether you care more about professional development, work-life balance, whether you want more of a casual work environment, you can choose all of that. And then on the left-hand side, I told you before, those skills and expertise that you can put like 12 to 15 on there and then change them at any time. Right here, these are your experiences. That's already put in by your resume, but you can change that anytime as well. On the right-hand side, right here, you can see a maybe fit for section. That right here if you just click on any job description within our site, we've kind of shortened it down to what you will do and what you will learn, and then just different skills that would be good for the job. You can apply to the job by just clicking this. It'll take to the external website, and then once you've applied, you hit the I've applied button, and that'll let your manager of recruitment know that you've applied, and they can advocate for you for that position. And then right here, you can start exploring matches. This is a lower number just because it is a demo website. You can look at all your roles, you can look at your role matches, and then you can do fit based on role preferences. And then another unique feature that we have is on the right-hand side right here. It's a little heart feature. It's kind of like a dating feature that we have. You can like a company and they can see that you like them, and then they can like you back and invite you to apply to the job, and then maybe if invite you for an interview as well if they look at your profile. And then the left-hand side, obviously, are just a little bit more filters that you can kind of specify based on your job preferences. So that's a little bit more about the network. So I'm going to stop right here. And if you guys have any questions at this time, you guys can ask me. Any questions from anyone?
In the like job preferences and the like about me, is that something their man, what did you call it, a manager or coach, can that kind of like, can someone
give personal summary statement?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, your manager recruitment can help you with your personal summary statement. You have their email, and basically, like, for me, every time they would send me like 4 to 5 different roles, if I liked one of the roles more than any other role, I would say, I like this role. Can you send me more roles like this? Because this is more what I'm into. So, getting to know your manager recruitment is really important because they can help you narrow down the role because there are so many different positions on the network. It can be hard to kind of narrow it down. So, definitely having a good relationship is really important as well. And you can schedule a meeting as well if you need help with like resume prep, or if you need help with interviewing before your interview. They help me with that as well.
Yeah.
So I know that a couple of you are from different majors. So if anyone wants to just throw out like kind of what major they are, I can tell you what's kind of some opportunities that we have on the site.
My name's Josh. I'm a communication major about to graduate here in a couple weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a long road, but so I have been having trouble getting in contact or getting an interview, really, like kind of even just in the door at certain places.
Yeah, and that can be really hard, and that's another thing that I felt as well, just because I wasn't even from Indiana, so I was like, I literally have no connections here, but that's why I liked Ascend, is just because they already have that connection with those employers. And so, like, whenever you're applying for these different jobs as well, there's also like an Ascend tab, like, how did you find out about us? And you can click Ascend. But some of the positions that we have, we've also listed these as well on like Handshake, if you, because we have like different job buckets as well. So if you want to just like look at that, so look at like communications, you can look at some jobs that we have on our network for that. But we have WPTA TV, MS Communications, X Hybrids. We have the Bolson Group, Dykes Vision Production, Pace Indie, and then Brooks Life Sciences. Those are some of the companies that we have that communications. So what I'm going to do is, if you want to, I'm going to put in the chat, there's this link right here.
Okay.
So if you guys want to click on this link, the first step right here today is if you just want to click on this link and just fill out the basic information, then we can get you started on the process of just signing up and getting further into the network. And then if anyone else wants to kind of gauge what other types of jobs are in their industry, I can do that as well.
I just had one more quick question. So after, so I have signed up for it and whatnot.
Perfect.
Is this, I know that other networking groups also, like YLNI, for example, there's like a fee per year.
No, this is completely free for you to use.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's completely free for you to use, and then you can use it like once you graduate and everything like that too.
Awesome.
Anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, I had one quick question. Is this a mobile app as well, or is this solely on like laptops?
This is solely on laptops.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you were screen sharing,
Yeah.
basically like your profile on there, and you said you have to upload your resume, I'm assuming the program kind of like auto fits some information
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah, it does.
So let's say like you want to add additional information, stuff that isn't on the resume you upload, could you possibly do that as well?
Yes, you can. So like for mine, it did like the top 3 experiences on mine, but I needed to update it just because I had some other experiences like that I want to like change or tweak or anything else like that, but you can edit anything on there.
Okay.
It's just already put in for you. So if like you don't really want to do all the work of like putting all those experiences on there, it's already put in.
Right.
But
Okay.
you
Thank
can
you.
edit everything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I heard you say getting to know the employees of Ascend is very helpful in like giving them feedback about this is what I'm really interested in. Do you have any other advice of how to best take advantage? Like
Of
how
Ascend.
many hours a week or a month would you imagine someone's using Ascend? Or how do people like it gets frustrating. Like I'm thinking about this because Josh was saying he's having a hard time getting his foot in the door.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering how many like jobs he's applied to. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Yeah, I would say that because the job process for me was very difficult last year. But one thing I would say is I like to at least spend like, I don't know, an hour in the morning or like an hour in the afternoon, just like spending time on whether I'd be checking my applications or anything else like that, or applying to new jobs. One of the good things about the Ascend network is for a lot of the other jobs and everything else I was applying to on LinkedIn or Indeed or anything else like that, I would apply to the position and then I'd never hear back. So I'd never know if that was still like an opportunity or not. But with your manager recruitment, I would just ask them, be like, hey, I applied to this position. I don't think I've heard back. Is there any way that you could contact me, them for me? And they would do that. And so I'd figure out like, okay, that's not an opportunity anymore. Like this is what I need to focus on. So that I'd have like a clear list of like, I'm still in the running for these opportunities, but these are like not, I shouldn't focus on them anymore. So that was really nice. But yeah, I would say like focus an hour. Obviously, if you can't do it every day, you don't have to. It's not like a priority, but I would just say like just to at least like every week, just like email your manager recruitment and be like, hey, like these are the things that I'm looking at. And that's what I did, at least in my job search. And then they just email me sporadically and be like, hey, like I advocated for you for this job, or like, hey, like this is something that I think you'd be good for. So just keeping in touch with them, I think is really important.
That is one advice I'd give to all of you students, that like somebody's working really hard on your behalf for free. So make sure you respond to them because that's something like you heard her say, they advocate for you with employers. And if they've emailed you 10 times and you never respond, likely they will stop advocating for you with employers. Yeah. Or you're just wasting their time. So just tell them the good news. I got a job, or I'm going to go to grad school instead, or whatever it is, because you never know what. That's part of networking, is good follow-up.
Yeah.
You don't know what else could come along later. And it's also totally reasonable to say, I'm so stressed with finals. Is it okay if I contact you December 10th and not during these last 2 weeks in December or something? That's an okay thing to say.
Yeah, I would definitely echo that as well. And another thing that we've been doing with our services is like we don't have any scheduled for like this month, obviously, because it's like December, but we've been having these employer info sessions. Mm-hmm. So definitely like keep your eye out for that as well. We've been pushing that to like a lot of different universities. So just like where you get to meet literally the hiring manager of the employer of this company, and you get to ask them questions. They have a presentation about what jobs that they're like wanting to get candidates for, and so I think that's just a really good opportunity that I didn't have whenever I was in college, of being able to actually meet the hiring manager and like ask them questions and like creating that personal connection when you don't have any, especially in this virtual environment. So.
Just like this. I mean, you all showed up to this today. I think that's great. And the next time you ask for help, I'm going to remember that you already showed up once. Wouldn't help you if you were a no-show, but it sends a different message.
Yeah. If anyone has any problems right now, like signing up or anything like that, let me know as well.
Well, I told Kanjan that I would share your name, major, and email with her after today's session, just so she has contact of who was interested and who came today. If that's not okay with you, it's no problem. Just please message me privately and I will take you off the list. But we'll be here for another 8 minutes at least if there's any questions. But if there's not, that's okay too.
Yeah. So if you want to fill out that form right now, feel free to, because I'll be here.
Yeah.
And if you just like want to ask me generic questions as well, I mean, I'm a recent grad. I just literally graduated in May and I had to go through the job process. So if you have just any questions with that, I can answer that as well.
Josh, what type of places are you applying for? Where would you like to work?
So I am casting a pretty wide net right now, including places that I've worked previously but have more experience to get better positions from that company. It's kind of rough when that doesn't return. So it's like right now the state I'm in is just kind of like, okay, there's a lot of L's that I'm taking here, and just kind of like managing that like self-confidence of like, okay, just keep on going. It's just a really hard market right now. So what I'm doing right now is I've been keeping my eye out on Do It Best, some of their corporate jobs that they have there, different hauling and freight companies.
Okay, you should definitely check out Spot Inc. just because we have a partnership with them and they're a hauling and freighting company, and I know that they were hiring for certain positions.
Spot Inc.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I've got a lot of processing experience and a lot of management. And just recently I did an internship with the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo doing their marketing. So
okay, so you also have like a lot of marketing experience as well.
Right. But my past experience is a lot of management, marketing, and I'd say finance.
Yeah, we have a lot of different finance jobs on the market or on our network right now as well. And I think with the experience that you have like a very versatile background, so you can apply to a lot of different those jobs too. Like, so if you want to apply for like account executive or things like that, that's something that I feel like you would excel at. So we have a lot of those positions on our network.
Right. I am finding that it's hard to root out the positions that are not commission based. I've like on the job market right now, I'm seeing a lot of sales positions and a lot of things that your pay is based on commission.
Yeah. But yeah, I think with a lot of the jobs that I've seen, like with communications and like things like that, we also have like a lot of those on our network, and I know those aren't as much commission based, but
that's great. Got it. Awesome.
But yeah, I do hear that it is rough, obviously, because of the pandemic, and getting your foot into the door.
Yeah, and I've been doing a lot of work on my LinkedIn and trying to expand that even in like the second and third connection type of area. And I've been my browser, like my web browser, it's kind of funny whenever I have it. It's just tabs on tabs of just like, there's LinkedIn, there's Indeed, there's ZipRecruiter, there's Handshake is up there, and that sort of deal. So
one thing I think is really important as well is like maybe like the hiring managers of the different companies, maybe like adding them on LinkedIn. I think that's super important. And then adding like a little, maybe like a cover letter or like a different mission statement to your LinkedIn. I think that's important as well, just because in college, I got a lot of different messages like that, just because of like the different mission statement that I put of like exactly what I wanted and my transferable skills. So I think that's something that you could do as well.
awesome. Yeah, that's really helpful. Yeah, I think that I will start doing that because it's a little bit awkward when you don't immediately know them.
Yeah.
But I think making that connection, or at least attempting it, is pretty good, because I don't. It's hard. It's a little weird for me to be like, hey, you don't know me, but this is what it is. But that's kind of part of networking, is expanding that network. So
Yeah, just be
Think
like,
about
oh,
it from their perspective. Like I just sent you a private message of Kelly from Do It Best. She's the hiring manager there. She said she'd be happy to talk to any students interested in working.
She's actually one of the people that I have made a connection with.
Good. See?
Yeah.
It's to her advantage. If she knows Josh is interested in working here, that's so much less work for her to go and
yeah,
talk.
no.
And then
And
if it's fit now or a couple months from now, then yeah, like I think that's like the like thing on Ascend. Like you express an interest in this company.
Yeah.
That's just one more point in your advantage. You know, would it make the difference of you being hired or not? No, but would it make the difference of like your resume staying in the maybe pile or the yes pile for an interview?
Right.
Probably.
Yeah, I had a friend that she interviewed for this company's like second, third round interview, and then like they had obviously COVID happened, and so they're like, we're not really hiring people anymore. Literally got a email last week being like, hey, like I know you're like in Indianapolis, and we like thought of you when this open position opened up. Would you like to interview for it again? So I definitely, and one thing that she really did is like she constantly kept in contact with them and emailed them and was like, hey, like thank you for this opportunity. Like, I really love your company. Like, I want to grow with you. And like, wrote them, like, kept it personal. And so, like, I feel like doing that, even though your rejections, your L's, still like, don't think of it as a complete rejection, because sometimes they'll come back.
You're right. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just ask those people for feedback too. You following up with
I
them,
did that.
saying, I want to improve myself, tells them, oh, maybe I should invite them to apply for a different position.
Yeah, I think that goes a long way as well. I did that I literally applied to like more than 100 different jobs my senior year. And every single time I got a rejection, it's probably like 2 or 3 every week. I'd be like, hey, can you offer me feedback? Because it's just like,
they do. Sometimes they don't.
But. Yeah. It's hard to hear sometimes, but I think it helps you grow. You look back at it and see that you've grown.
Absolutely. And it's kind of a weird position. So I actually do have an interview tomorrow morning, but the position, I looked in Glassdoor and it seems like it's a good company to grow with. But it's just a position that, I don't know, it's the kind of, right now it's raking in the stuff that I don't want and trying to filter that through. So will this like network help with that?
Yeah, you can filter in, like, when you say like filter in the stuff that you don't want, what is exactly, like, do you say like sales or like?
So this position, this one is with Buchanan Buchanan Hauling and Rigging.
Okay.
That one, I'm not sure. I'm a little wary to go back into the warehouse type of role.
Okay. So I would just say, like, make sure your manager recruitment knows that, like, in your initial interview, be like, hey, this is like something that I recently interviewed for, and I'm not really sure that's the direction I want to take. So these are the types of jobs I'm looking for, and they'll keep that in mind and be like, okay, these are some of the filters that you can put in, so you won't have that. And just don't click, when you filter it, just don't even click that option that you like want to potentially consider those companies.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
Well,
I appreciate your time.
Kanjan and I have another same session at 3, so if it's okay with her, we can stay on the line for other questions. But if you blocked your calendar from 2 to 2:30 today and you need to get going on to your next thing, then thank you very much for attending.
Thank you, guys.
But we're still here if you have questions.
Yeah. And if those that like already connected to the network or like signed up for the network here today, if you guys could just send me a quick message saying you did, that'd be great.
I'm gonna stop the recording. I don't know why I'm still recording.